What was the direct question?
Oh my goodness, Ms. McCabe, it was 5 minutes ago.
Right. Did he ask, did you see something? You like to change words. I just want to be certain.
Did you lie under oath, sir?
No, I did not.
Would you tell us if you did? How did you inadvertently call him?
Well, I don't know because it was inadvertent.
Is 22 seconds long enough to have a conversation?
No.
Butt dial. Butt dial.
Butt dial.
A human being can't have a conversation in 22 seconds?
Sure they could. I don't think it's anything of substance.
Butt dial.
Butt dial.
Butt dialed.
Butt dial.
Did you in fact tell the truth at the prior proceeding when you said, I don't remember that phone call?
I always tell the truth.
And it turns out, Mr. Higgins, that was a lie, wasn't it? Butt dial.
Butt dial.
Butt dialed. Butt dialed.
Butt dial.
Butt dials.
Butt dialed. Butt dialed.
Butt dials.
I may have butt dialed you last night. Sorry about that.
Did you in fact use a phrase to Google search how long it takes for someone to die of extreme temperatures?
I did in the morning at the request of your client.
And what phrase did you use?
I'm not sure.
Really?
Correct. I was.
2.5 years of this, you don't know the phrase that you used?
There's so many lies and misconceptions on social media.
No question.
Oh, I apologize. I did not delete that search. I never made that search at 2:23. I never would have left John O'Keefe out in the cold to die because he was my friend that I loved.
When you're sending these text messages over these periodic time periods, what, if anything, are you doing?
I originally went to the front door, saw the car.
Today we're analyzing Jen McCabe's ass and its ability to dial John O'Keefe on the very morning he was killed. Let's watch.
To John. Then I went back, kind of sat at the table, just either threw my phone probably in my back pocket. And then a couple minutes later, I got up again and saw that the car had moved.
Jen was asked a question with regard to the text messages and calls she made to John O'Keefe that very morning. Here, if you listen closely, she offers the fact that she put the phone in her back pocket. When I first heard that, it was suspect. And I thought, why would she offer that information? She put the phone in her back pocket when she wasn't even asked about it. And we're going to find out why.
So I had sent the pull behind me. And then a few minutes later, I went back to the window. To the front door. Again, I am a witness. That's all I am. I am not on trial. I am a witness. And these people are terrorizing me.
We know Jen has the ability to lie on the stand under oath. She did it in both season 1 and season 2 when she was questioned about the location of Higgy Bear's girly Jeep. She clearly lied about that. So let's find out, is she lying about whether she called John O'Keefe knowingly or were they done by her ass? We'll see.
Ms. McCabe, we've talked in some detail about your calls with John O'Keefe on the morning of January 29th. There was a call at 12:14 a.m. That was a call that you indicated was answered. You had a conversation with Mr. O'Keefe.
So John sent to me where to.
We know for sure in response to John's text at 12:14, Hen McCabe called him while she was driving with Matt McCabe to 34 Fairview.
At 12:14. Correct.
There was a call at 12:18 and 47 seconds. That call also was answered by you. John O'Keefe made that phone call, correct?
Correct.
Yes, I said, are you coming here with 3 followed by 3 question marks?
At 12:20, minutes after threatening John O'Keefe at the waterfall, Higgy Bear sent this text.
What time did the location data indicate that John O'Keefe's phone arrived at 34 Fairview on January 29th?
12:24 and 28 seconds.
And 4 minutes later at 12:24, John O'Keefe and Karen Reed arrive at 34 Fairview.
I think I said here, question mark. So this one is from myself to John, and it says here at 12:27.
Then there's the 12:29 and 44 second call that you indicated was not answered from you to him.
Correct. I sent to John, pull behind me at 12:31. Then I went back, kind of sat at the table, just either threw my phone probably in my back pocket.
There it is again.
There was a 12:41 call from you to John O'Keefe.
Correct.
There was a 12:41 and 54 second call from you to him.
Correct. Jen to John, where are you? And that was at 12:42.
As the records established, there's a pattern of Jen texting and calling John O'Keefe, wondering where he is.
There was a 12:43 and 19 second call from you to him.
Correct. Myself to John, hello, at 12:45.
12:46 a.m. and 16 seconds from you to him. 12:47 and 52 seconds from you to him.
Correct.
And 12:50 and 37 seconds from you to him, correct?
Correct.
You saw in his extraction report, all of those calls after 12:18 were missed calls. In other words, the only two calls that were answered were the 12:14 and 12:18. Everything else was a missed call.
I believe so. I would have to refer to it again because I've seen so many reports.
According to the extraction reports that you've seen this morning, comparing yours to his, every single one of those calls was deleted off your phone, according to the reports.
According to that report, yes.
Have you ever misplaced your phone?
Yes.
What's one of the first things you do if you're with your daughter or your husband or a friend in your house and you misplace your phone?
Oh, I'll ask them to call my phone.
Even over and over and over.
Correct.
Could be as many as 5, 6, 7 times.
Usually I hear it the first or second time.
In season 1, Karen Reed's attorneys failed to recognize Higgins threatening John O'Keefe at the waterfall on video just 25 minutes before he was killed. This led to over 3 days of questioning of Jen McCabe, believing that somehow she was calling him because she was involved in the murder. Here, Alan's implying that John's phone was somehow separated from his body and she was making these calls in order for the other people to locate the phone.
Looking for a buzz or a ring, isn't that right?
Correct.
And you might do that if you're searching for a missing phone, correct?
Correct.
With regard to the calls that were deleted from your phone, you were asked about this under oath at another proceeding, weren't you? And you claimed at another proceeding that you had an explanation for all these missed calls.
Can I see the report?
I'm asking you about your prior testimony.
Yes, I'm asking, can I see it, please?
I'm asking you a different question. At this other proceeding, which you were under oath, you explained these missed calls, incessant missed calls. What were they? You used a word. Matter of fact, it's 2 words.
I believe I used the word butt dials.
You claimed that every one of these calls was a butt dial.
Yes.
So according to you, you literally butt dialed John O'Keefe's phone 6 times in the span of 19 minutes.
I don't remember making any of those calls, so my assumption is I put my phone in my back pocket, and that was it.
And there's that connection to Jen's unsolicited offering of her phone was put in her back pocket. For some reason, she's lying about making those calls. However, is she lying because it's nefarious, or was she just trying to cover up any connection to John on that
When
morning?
you dial someone by mistake, the phone has to be open. You'll agree with that, right? It takes several iterations of movement to get a phone open. Face ID or password, right?
Correct.
What happens with the call?
I assume it goes to voicemail?
It's a good assumption, because that's exactly what it does, isn't it? You've had a phone for a lot of years, right?
Yes.
It rings and rings and rings until it goes to voicemail.
Correct.
I generally don't believe in butt dials, and the order of the calls and the text messages make it very clear these were not inadvertent calls. However, the most important part is what Alan is bringing up here, that if it was a butt dial, the call would actually go to voicemail. It wouldn't hang up, and we know that all these calls didn't go to voicemail.
So in order to hang up that butt dial, you have to interact with that phone yet again, don't you?
Yes.
So if you had 6 butt dials, you'd not only have to interact with the phone once to butt dial John, you'd then have to interact with it every single time to turn off that phone ringer so it doesn't go to voicemail, wouldn't you?
I suppose.
That is one great ass.
Which makes 14 interfaces with that phone over the course of 19 minutes. Is that right?
I mean, I guess I don't have it all right in front of me, but there were also text messages I was sending, so again, maybe I said, oh shoot, I called them, and then I turned it off.
But your claim is you don't remember those incessant butt dials and those incessant hang-ups at all, correct?
I honestly don't.
When human apes use the word honestly, it's generally an indicator of deception or that they're embarrassed about something. Here, it's not clear why Jen is lying about the origin of those calls.
I honestly don't.
You'll agree that the phone extraction shows that John O'Keefe got no voicemails.
I didn't look, but
So that means you would have had to interact with that phone 14 times over the course of 19 minutes at the exact time frame that the Commonwealth suggests John O'Keefe lost his life.
Objection.
Sustained. You can ask that differently, and this will be your last question for today, please.
The period between 1229 and 1250, which is the exact period that you were, quote, butt dialing John multiple times, that's also the exact period that John O'Keefe was rendered incapacitated.
Objection.
That's sustained.
Sir, did you make any phone calls after you went to bed between the hours of 1:45 a.m. and 6:30 a.m.?
Yes.
Who did you call?
Brian Higgins.
I inadvertently called Brian Higgins.
This is Brian Albert, the homeowner of 34 Fairview. It's most likely on that very morning he helped Brian Higgins dispose of the body and then eventually planted it near the flagpole.
Inadvertently called back.
What time?
I don't recall the exact time. After 2.
2:22 and 35 seconds. Does that sound familiar?
Yes.
Did you speak to Brian Higgins at any point between 1:45 a.m. and 6:30 a.m.?
No.
You say you inadvertently called him at 2:22 in the morning.
Yes.
How did you inadvertently call him?
Well, I don't know because it was inadvertent.
Inadvertently called back.
So I have to explain that.
Well, it's kind of like a butt dial.
And yet we have another amazing ass in Canton.
Butt dial. That you were, quote, hanging out with your wife, and you must have butt dialed Mr. Higgins, correct?
Yes.
You were asked how that could have happened. And in that hearing, you said, quote, I'm not totally sure. You then changed your testimony and said you were in an intimate situation, I'll put it that way, with Nicole at the time. And that's how you butt dialed Brian Higgins, correct?
I don't believe I said that's how I butt dialed Brian Higgins.
What you said was you were in an intimate situation with Nicole at the time that the butt dial occurred.
I'm not sure if you have something you can read me or show me.
Isn't it true that at the other hearing you indicated that at or around the 2:22 time frame, you and your wife were in bed together in an intimate situation?
Yes, around that time I think it reads.
Your call records from January 29th at 2:22 and 35 seconds in the morning. Whose number ends in 5421?
Brian Higgins.
According to this, it's Brian Higgins.
Brian Higgins.
The call at 2:22 and 35 seconds appears to be 1 second in length, and that's from you to him, correct?
It says 1 second.
That would be the call, the initial call from you to him, the one that you claim is a butt dial. Is that right?
Yes.
Did that call roll to voicemail and then you immediately hung up?
No, I don't recall if it. I don't know.
So according to you, it was a butt dial that went to his phone that somehow lasted 1 second.
Right.
At 2:22 in the morning, one of only 10 people that had the opportunity to kill John O'Keefe called the other person who had the opportunity to kill John O'Keefe, and now he's claiming it's a bang dial.
There's a second call at 2:22 and 52 seconds, 17 seconds later. That call is actually from Brian Higgins to you, isn't it?
Yes.
And that call doesn't last 1 second. That call lasts 22 seconds, correct?
Yes.
Obviously, you know how long 22 seconds is.
What's that?
You know how long 22 seconds lasts.
According to my ex-wife, 20 seconds longer than me.
Yes.
You acknowledge that there's a 22-second phone call,
That's what's reflected by the record.
and 22 seconds is quite an amount of time. Would you agree?
It's 22 seconds.
If we were to count off 22 seconds, it's an uncomfortably long time, is it not?
No,
It's long enough to have a conversation, isn't it?
I didn't have a conversation.
Is 22 seconds long enough to have a conversation?
No.
A human being can't have a conversation in 22 seconds?
Sure they could. I don't think it's anything of substance.
Thank God Higgy Bear was not properly prepared by an attorney. He's giving his cute answers, which we know are going to annoy not only the jury, but everyone else around him. Now we see why. Brian Albert had to call Brian Higgins after everyone left. He needed help figuring out what the hell to do with John's body.
So according to your phone records, you placed a call to him, and then 17 seconds later, he returned a call to you that lasted 22 seconds.
That's what the records reflect, yes.
Did you tell anyone in law enforcement that next day that oddly Brian Higgins was calling you at 2:22 a.m. and you missed a call?
No, I wasn't aware of that call.
Did you get a voicemail from Brian Higgins?
No. That next morning, while everything was going on, I mentioned to Brian that I may have butt dialed you last night. Sorry about that.
Hey, Brian, you know the cop that you were in love with his girlfriend and trying to sneak with her behind his back and he was found dead on my front lawn? Forget about that. I'm sorry, I may have butt dialed you last night.
You did not make or receive any calls after returning home that night?
No.
All right, so you testified that the first call you received after returning home on the 29th was a call from Chief Berkowitz just before 7 a.m., which woke you up.
It was around 6:30-ish, I think.
Okay. Your testimony previously was at some point before 7 a.m.
When human apes are stressed, the brain will send extra energy to their limbs, their fingers, their feet, their toes, in order to get ready to fight, flight, or freeze. Here, when you cannot do any of those, your body will actually mask that extra energy in grooming techniques, and we're seeing it right here with old Higgy Bear.
That call was the one that woke you up.
Yes.
Brian Albert called you at 2:22 and 35 seconds, but it looks like you missed the call.
I see the 1 second call, yes.
There's a second call just below that on the same date at 2:22 and 52 seconds from you to Brian Albert, and the duration of that call is 22 seconds. So 17 seconds after you missed a call from Brian Albert, you called him back, and there was a call lasting 22 seconds.
That's what the records say.
So the fact is, you were speaking to Brian Albert in the middle of the night, approximately 3 hours before Mr. O'Keefe's body was found in his yard.
No, that's not correct.
Did you, in fact, tell the truth at the prior proceeding when you said, I don't remember that phone call?
I always tell the truth.
Did you lie under oath, sir?
No, I did not.
Would you tell us if you did?
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained.
You had an explanation for what that 22-second call may have been and what the prior call may have been. What was your explanation?
It better not be another butt dial.
Well, I used a phrase that people commonly used as a butt dial.
So you think it's possible that you may have butt dialed Brian Albert for a 22-second call that you're not aware of?
I think it's possible that he could have been inadvertently called back, but I have no recollection of that, nor did I have any conversation with anybody.
And you had your ringer on because you were awakened the next morning by a call from Chief Berkowitz, right?
That's a great point by Alan. Higgy Bear testified that he was awoken by a telephone call from Chief Berkowitz at 6:30 in the morning. That would mean that his ringer was on. When Brian Albert called him at 2:22 and he missed the call, he then called back to figure out what the hell they're going to do with John's body, which was laying somewhere at 34 Fairview.
Right?
Yes, the ringer was on.
To the question, did you call him back? Your answer was yes.
I think it was kind of I must have.
Higgy Bear's looking at the transcript with regard to the federal investigation where he generally tells the truth.
Did you call him back?
What's the answer?
Yes. I did not have a conversation with anybody.
And the question following that was, you just listened to the phone, what someone was telling you? Answer, it's possible that the phone picked up on the other end and nobody said anything. And then I terminated the call.
Can I see it?
And your answer was, it's possible that the phone picked up on the other end and nobody said anything. And then I terminated the call.
Meaning it's possible it could have happened.
Possible it could have happened that you had a 22-second call with Brian Albert,
I
correct?
did not have a 22-second call with Brian Albert. There was no conversation.
Mr. Higgins, what was so important that you and Brian Albert needed to discuss something at 2:22 in the morning?
I know. Brian Higgins, in a drunken, jealous rage, knocked out John O'Keefe and then incapacitated him, and they had to store the body on the side of the house. In the meantime, they had to wait for everyone to leave. Once everyone left, Brian Albert had to call Brian Higgins, and those two dopes had to figure out how to get that body to the flagpole.
There was no discussion. I never talked to Brian Albert.
Then why the 22-second phone call, sir?
As I just said, the call was imperative in order for those two dopes to figure out what to do with John's body. It is amazing to me that our federal dollars are still paying Higgy Bear's salary because he's still employed with the ATF. Coincidentally, Brian Albert and Brian Higgins tried to dispose of their phones or change their phone carrier just a day before they were ordered to preserve them. It is very cute watching these two dopes trying to get away with murder, but we are not going to stop producing this video until the real killer,
Brian Higgins,
is brought to justice.